Am I overreacting for being upset about what my coworker did during our office Secret Santa? At my job, we do voluntary Secret Santa every year. The rules are simple: $25 limit, no gag gifts, and try to be thoughtful. I got my gift a few days before Christmas. It was a small bag with a candle and a mug. Pretty normal. Then my coworker Rachel pulled me aside and said, laughing, "Oh, by the way, that's from both of us." I was confused because Secret Santa is one person per gift. She explained that she and another coworker decided to split the cost so they could save money. At first, I shrugged it off. But later that day, I found out something that really bothered me. Everyone else got full gifts: gift cards, desk accessories, even headphones. Rachel and her friend each received separate Secret Santa gifts from different people. So basically, two people pooled money to buy me one gift, but still benefited individually from the exchange. I mentioned it casually to another coworker who said, "It's not a big deal. At least you got something." That comment stuck with me. The candle smelled nice, the mug was fine, but it made me feel like an afterthought, like I wasn't worth the full effort everyone else got. I didn't confront Rachel. I didn't complain to HR. I just quietly opted out of Secret Santa next year. Now Rachel seems annoyed with me and told everyone I was being dramatic and reading into things. I kept going back and forth in my head. Am I overreacting for feeling slighted over a Secret Santa gift when it technically followed the rules? It does seem awfully funny that the coworkers who did respond about the situation had very diplomatic responses, especially because, everybody else did spend the $25 and had to individually put in the effort so that they could then get the proper reciprocation. But then these two individuals decided that they wanted to save $13 instead of just properly participating in the Secret Santa. I don't know, it's really petty, it's really weird. I wouldn't have made a big deal out of it, but I guess I can understand why the OP is upset about it. But apparently there's an update. So let's see how this plays out. I didn't plan on doing anything about the Secret Santa situation, but apparently opting out quietly was still too much for some people. A week after the holidays, HR sent out a sign-up sheet for next year's Secret Santa. I simply didn't put my name down. No announcement, no explanation. It seems awfully early anyway. Rachel noticed almost immediately. She came to my desk and said jokingly, "Oh wow, you're still mad about the candle thing?" I laughed it off and said, "Nope. Just not into Secret Santa anymore." She rolled her eyes and said, "Okay, but that was kind of extreme." That's when the petty part started unintentionally. Later that day, another coworker asked why I wasn't participating. I gave a very neutral answer. I realized some people treat it like a group discount instead of an exchange, and I'd rather skip it. I didn't name names, but somehow everyone knew. Over the next few days, multiple coworkers started sharing their own Secret Santa horror stories. Someone brought up how splitting gifts defeats the purpose. Another person suggested HR should clarify the rules, and HR did. They sent an email reminding everyone that Secret Santa gifts are one person, one gift, and that splitting cost is not allowed going forward. Rachel stopped talking to me. Her friend pulled me aside and said I embarrassed them and made things awkward. I reminded her that I never complained, never emailed HR, and never said anyone's name. Now the office is divided. Some people think I'm petty for letting it snowball. Others thanked me for saying what everyone else was thinking. Rachel still uses the mug she got that year. I still use the candle. It burns nicely. I mean, what a bunch of petty BS, honestly. It's fine that HR decided to clarify the rules. Clearly, word got around like crazy, but the OP wasn't even really trying to make a big thing out of it, or at least so they say. They talked to some people about it, but they were just going to not participate, and then people decided to ask why, and they clarified their feelings without getting into details, without naming names. It seemed like they were genuinely trying to not make a big deal out of it, but somehow we landed ourselves in a situation where the entire office office ended up finding out that there was some weird drama related to Secret Santa and people trying to split costs. And as far as Rachel and her friend letting the embarrassment get to them and trying to blame the OP, it's like, well, no, by breaking the rules. As stupid as you might think they are, everybody else followed the rules just fine. So you made yourself look really silly, especially for a $25 gift. If you can't afford it or you don't want to, then just don't participate, but don't bend the rules for your benefit. And then to blame the OP for not even stirring the pot. They didn't really, they didn't name names. They didn't throw anybody specific under the bus. They didn't go to HR. It was just everybody else decided to ask questions about the lack of participation in next year's Secret Santa. And everybody just put the pieces of the puzzle together on their own. So clearly it sounds like Rachel and this other coworker are sort of known for weird petty behaviors if everybody sort of did the math on their own. And as far as people thinking that the OP is petty for quote unquote letting it snowball, they didn't do anything. Right? Like, am I missing something, or does the OP sound like the most innocent out of all of them? For something that's supposed to be fun and kind and cheerful during the holiday season, we certainly turned it into a bunch of petty BS. So that's my verdict. I don't think the OP was the a-hole. I don't think they deliberately tried to let anything happen. It just naturally happened because of a weird petty environment in the office. But I want to know your verdict. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.